delighted to get him here on Championship Wrestling Rare. Tommy, how you doing, partner? Good to have you out here today. We've been looking forward to this particular day.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say I'm going to be in Blytheville tonight, and I want everybody to come over to Blytheville, Arkansas. I'm going to have a big card over there. And, well, I say I'm doing good. I'm not doing the best in the world, Anyway, what did I hear you say that Jerry Lawler, he's got a world title shot at the first one?
Yeah, it was a situation where he and the great Kabuki had an elimination match, and whoever won it got the shot at the world title in January, and Lawler won it by disqualification, so he will be representing and going against the world heavyweight champion.
Well, I was in the back. I was looking for Eddie Marlin back there in the back, and I hadn't found him yet, and this may not be the time to even say nothing about it. I don't know, but I've always said what I felt, and that's got me in trouble sometimes. And but in this situation, I talked to Eddie Marlin before I come back, and talking to Eddie Marlin and negotiating and everything. My whole deal was that I had the understanding that when Nick Bockwinkel, when he come to town, that I'd be in line to have a shot at the world heavyweight title. Myself,
huh.
I've held the world heavyweight title.
Yes, I know that.
I beat Harley Race for it, and I'm not taking nothing away from you, Jerry Lawler. I mean, I think you're one heck of a wrestler, and all I'm saying is, I was had the understanding that when I come back to the area, when Bockwinkel got here, that I would have a shot at the world title. And as it seems now, Jerry Lawler's got the shot, and Jerry Lawler's wrestled Nick Bockwinkel a dozen times right here in Memphis, and Lawler's never won the title. He had never beat Nick Bockwinkel.
That's true. He has not ever won the title.
All I'm saying is, is just that Eddie Marlin told me that I'd get a shot at Nick Bockwinkel. Lawler had never beat the world heavyweight champion. I've beat the world heavyweight champion. So, I mean,
Well, there are some other titles around here, though, Tommy, that I know that might interest you. Of course, the international title that Big Bubba has, the Southern heavyweight title. So, we're not without title shots, and I think you've got some matches coming up in the future that'll be of interest to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've got some big matches. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, Jerry Lawler, he's never beat Nick Bockwinkel. How many times he wrestled him?
Well, several, no question about that. He has never won the title.
Yes, sir. He's never won the title, and that's all I'm saying.
Well,
and, I'll just talk to Eddie.
Okay, maybe Eddie is something you can get with Eddie and get it straightened out. Wildfire, Tommy Rich, and by golly, I'll tell you, he's got the credentials, too. A couple of interesting matches that I wanted to show some highlights of, Dave. One of them had to do with Tommy Wildfire Rich going against the international heavyweight champion, Big Bubba. Let's take a look at just a minute of the highlights of that bout. 11 minutes past 49 minutes to wrestle. 11 past 49 to wrestle. Tommy Rich shooting away, and he puts Bubba down on the mat again. He had a couple of pin attempts at him. Kind of 1, 2, and Big Bubba just barely bucked him out of there. Rich goes up with a drop kick. Bubba holds on, and Tommy hits the mat hard. And Bubba, staggering around, fired Tommy, and he hit the referee. Bubba misses as he came down with a splash. Frank Morrell still on the deck. Tommy moving up to the second rope as Bubba comes up in the air. He got him with that press. Downtown Bruto up. Clubs him. Bubba rolls over as the referee, and here comes Lawler. Jerry Lawler jumped in, and at 12:20, the referee rings the bell, and I think they're going to disqualify Rich. That's it. 12 minutes. Yeah, the obviously Downtown jumped in there. He had a chain on his hand is what he did when he nailed Rich. Lawler came in he saw exactly what happened in there. Bubba was about to get a 1, 2, 3. He stopped that. He's going to tell the referee, and the referee says that's all disqualification, and Big Bubba was the winner in that match over Tommy Rich on a disqualification. Kind of an unfortunate thing the way it went. Another match, and you'll see there's kind of a thread here. I want you to pay attention to this one too, because Jerry the King Lawler went against the great Kabuki. Now let's take a look at some highlights from this match. Shot to the midsection. Lawler going with the elbow as Kabuki and Lawler trade licks. There comes the strap, and the crowd responds. Jerry firing in with those right hands. He's back in the corner and hurt. Yamamoto up on the steps signaling, saying, come on, come on, come on. Billy Travis waiting on Goto. Tony Burton, the former Ninja. Jeff Jarrett and Travis, Tracy Smothers. As they're keeping him out of the ring, and Lawler pounding away on Kabuki. Referee Jerry Calhoun's down on the floor. Tommy Rich hollering to the referee, come here, come here. Lawler's down. Evidently, Kabuki slammed his head against Rich's. 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be it. 7 minutes and 15 seconds. The winner, the great Kabuki. 7:15 the time. The winner, the great Kabuki. Kabuki. Kabuki, the winner, is 7:15, continues to pound on Lawler. Outside the ring, Smothers, Goto, Travis. Lawler with a pile driver, drops it on Kabuki. He drilled him good. It still is a mystery to me, Dave, exactly what happened in there. Jeff and Billy Travis and Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich were all down there to be certain that Tojo didn't, as he ended up calling, have some of his guys jump in the ring. Now, that's what happened the last time that Kabuki and Lawler met in there. So they were out there. We have had a lot of conversation. I didn't see it. I was watching the action in the crowd in there. Some of the people at ringside told me that Rich hit him with his elbow. I couldn't see it on the tape.
I couldn't tell from that either.
Yeah. And so anyhow, I don't know exactly what happened on it. Tommy Rich had some comments to make about it. Let's listen to Tommy.
You know, Monday night in Memphis, a few things happened that was really strange. You know, Eddie Marlin, I talked to him about a shot at the world heavyweight title, and he said that he'd signed Lawler. Well, I don't know if Lawler's insecure or thinks he's washed up in wrestling or what the deal is, but I had an international title shot against Big Bubba, and I'm sure all you people seen it. And what happens? You know, Mr. Insecure himself, or, you know, he comes down to the ring. I got Big Bubba going, got him pinned, climbed up on the second rope, hit him with the Thez press. He was down for the count. Bruno comes in and hits me in the back of the head, and Big Bubba rolls over on me. Well, who takes it upon themselves to run down in my match? The King, Jerry Lawler, wants to run down, and I don't know if it was a conspiracy on your part, Lawler, if you knew that if I beat him, Eddie Marlin would have to think about maybe giving Tommy Rich the title shot, because if I had the international title, I would be the man next in line. So I don't know if that's what the deal was, or what you've got in your mind, Lawler, if you think you're really washed up or not. And then I come down, Lawler, he cries the blues again. He's scared to joust. He's going to run in and help Kabuki. And so what happens, the referee gets knocked down. I jumped up on the apron to see if Lawler was okay. I turned my head because here come the joust, and being the clumsy klutz you are, run right into the back of me and knocked me off to the apron. And, you know, I just don't understand, Lawler. And I think I should be the man to have a shot at the world heavyweight title. Nick Bockwinkel has it. You know, I beat Harley Race 3 or 4 years ago. I beat him for the world heavyweight title right there in Atlanta, Georgia. Lawler, You've wrestled for the title shot 10, 12 times. Have you ever won it? No, you hadn't. You beat Nick Bockwinkel one time. I went through the records. You beat him one time, but I checked. You never walked out with the gold. In Atlanta, Georgia, just like I said, I walked out with the gold. And I think in my heart, with all of my heart, and all them people out there, too, told me, said Tommy Rich ought to have that world heavyweight title shot. And when I didn't get the international title, kind of knocked me out. But I still think that I ought to be the man going after the gold. Memphis, Tennessee, you need a new winner. And I think that I can beat Nick Bockwinkel.
Get the King out here right now and see if we can get his conversation about it, because Jared, has just been a lot of confusion about what happened with you and Tommy.
Yeah, it appears that way, doesn't it, Lance? It appears even you and Dave are a little confused. You said that you couldn't even see what happened on, even when they showed the film back, you couldn't see the guy hit me with the elbow?
Well, so to be honest with you, I didn't think it was that clear.
It wasn't that clear. Okay.
Okay.
All right, to be honest with you, what you also didn't show on the film was you didn't show the end of the match. After I came in, you know, Tommy Rich can sit out there. Are we going to show that? Okay.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Now, this...
Slow motion, too? Okay, now I'm going back to get some spring off the ropes to nail Kabuki. Yeah, he are you still a little unclear on that, Lance, or what do you think?
Well, certainly his elbow did hit your head. There's no question about that.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me just say this. You know, Tommy Rich can sit in some living room somewhere and say things like, you know, that I've never won the world title and that I came down there to get him disqualified in his international title match. What he failed to mention, and I think it was that Lance, you couldn't be unclear
Very
on,
obvious.
was the fact that he was laying there, lights out, staring up at the top of the Coliseum, knocked completely unconscious by a little 140-pound wimp. Now, Tommy Rich failed to mention that, didn't he, Lance?
He was out.
Now, I came in there for one reason, and as you saw on the tape, I kicked this big, fat, big blubber off of him and tried to put Tommy Rich on top of him, just the same thing that Bruno had done to Tommy. And then, when the referee sees me and disqualifies Tommy, what you also conveniently didn't show was Tommy Rich getting up, shoving me around the Coliseum, accusing me of coming in and getting him intentionally disqualified.
He did do that.
He did do that.
No good reason.
You're not unclear. You're not confused about that.
I agree with that.
Okay, so then what transpires is Tommy Rich then jumps up on the apron, as you maybe are a little more clear on now, and when I have Kabuki going, he gives me the elbow in the back of the head and costs me a match against Kabuki. Well, let me tell you something, Tommy Rich. Now, you know, up until Monday night in Memphis, Tennessee, I considered you a friend of mine. But anybody that costs me a match, brother, you can throw the friendship out the window, because I don't care if all of these fans in every city thinks you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, brother. You're not going to cost me a match and get away with it. Do you understand that, Tommy Rich? Now, I can't do anything about the fact that I won an elimination match to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship.
You did do that.
I did do that. You got that? Are you clear about that, Lance?
I'm absolutely.
Okay, we're absolutely clear. I won that match. I worked long and I worked hard, brother, to get where I am, to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And it's true, Tommy Rich, that up till now, I have not been able to get that belt around my waist. But you see, those shots are getting harder and harder to come by, and that's why this one means so much to me. And if you think, Tommy Rich, that you're going to come in here and weasel your way in between me and the World Heavyweight Championship, you got another thing coming, brother. As I said, I don't care how many fans you got. I don't care if when I walk out in that arena, brother, that everybody stands up and they pat Tommy Rich on the back and they wish you well and they say, Tommy, go in there and win that title. I got news for you, pal. You're not going to stand between me and the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to take on Nick Bockwinkel. I'm going to win that belt. And if I have to walk over you, which it looks like I'm going to have to do in the process, that's exactly what I'll do, Tommy Rich.
Okay, you hear it from a very determined Jerry the King Lawler, and I can tell you this, friend, when he is in that frame of mind, look out, because he has all the material to do it with. He will flat lay it on you. Rich and Lawler going to be a whale of a match. That's coming up tomorrow night, Mid-South Coliseum. We've got more action in the ring. Be back to it in a moment. Look at it.
upset that Lawler had got a chance to go for a World Heavyweight Championship match. Then Lawler came out to help Rich, but it got him disqualified. Later on, Rich cost Lawler a match, according to the King. So now, two guys are upset at each other. It's going to be a while when we expect. And Lawler's on top, Rich is on top now, and we got two double tough guys. Now Lawler being challenged by Rich. Rich says, hit me right here. And Lawler blasted away at him, caught a left one. Rich coming at him. The referee in the way. Lawler trying to get at him. The referee trying to keep him. Man, let me tell you, we got a fight going on here. Lawler on top. Now Rich is. We got him rolling all over the Memphis Mid-South Coliseum. Lawler with a fist. Jerry Calhoun trying to keep it going clean. Man alive, let me tell you, a pushing match between Lawler and Rich. And now Lawler caught him. Yes, sir. The place explodes. As I keep saying, the tempers have been lost a long time ago as they came into this match upset with each other, and they're going at it, Bruce. But, oh, man, Rich really blasted. Now Rich is backed in the corner by Lawler. Calhoun trying to pull Lawler away. Rich caught Lawler. A cut over the left eye of Jerry Lawler. Tommy Rich caught him again. Another one by Rich. Man, Lawler's busted open as Tommy Rich absolutely going away at Lawler. Putting it to it. He spits at him. Lawler's rocked. Rich catches him again. Lawler doesn't go down. Let me tell you, this power, he has to take punishment. But Lawler does. But Rich is going after him too. Continues to really with Lawler and really put it to him with elbows and fists and put it to him. Lawler came back with the left. The King is trying to get back in this match. Rich misses. He goes now. Rich slugging. Jerry Lawler puts Tommy Rich down to the canvas. Is out, and now Lawler comes out. The Rich caught him. Lawler caught him. Tommy Rich is busted open too. I didn't see that. Lawler sent him into that metal rail. Lawler Rich. Lawler gets that videotape. That's what Rich used. But Rich caught him, but Lawler came back. Man, is this murder to these men. Really, I can guarantee you, fighting on instinct is going to have to be worn out. Look at Lawler go. Pounding away, the referee trying to pull him back. And Lawler, whoa! The referee's out. Lawler and Rich goes after each other. Up coming out. And they're going back to the back of the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. Going upstairs in the Mid-South Coliseum. Oh, man. And they're battling their hearts out. Oh, no! That's exactly what it was in Memphis. Lawler was something. What is all? No, I see. Everybody, hey, Lawler threw down Jim Jameson, and here we go. Oh, Jerry blasted him.
You know, Lawler, you didn't play no Rookie of the Year, did you? You wrestled a seasoned veteran. You know, just like I said, you had never beat Nick Bockwinkel. You didn't beat Tommy Rich tonight. You know what it amounts to? The King, man. The King, everybody's champion, He pulled his strap down. What did you do, King? You fell flat on your face, and everybody went, their mouth fell open. They didn't think the King could fall down. I'll say one thing. I took you for granted. You fought like you was fighting 5 man when you fought me, brother, because I tell you what, I went in there, I give it everything I got. You know, and used to, when Tommy Rich first started wrestling, it'd have been a different story. You may have whooped my tail. But the thing about it is, Jerry Lawler, just like the Super Bowl, you was playing in front of all of your people. And what did you do? You pulled the strap down. The King's big famous thing. He goes crazy. But what happened tonight? What happened tonight in Memphis, Tennessee? Every one of these people, I'll tell you what happened. Every single person in this building went away talking. Jerry Lawler pulled his strap down and fell flat on his face. Tommy Rich whooped him. Lawler, just like I said, you're washed up, clumsy, klutz, has been. Tommy Rich is here to stay. People's champion, and I guarantee you, you didn't beat me, Lawler, so I don't know why in your head you think that you can beat Nick Bockwinkel, because you can't. You proved to the people you couldn't beat Tommy Rich. In my book, I think I beat you because we was playing on your home field, Lawler. Just like the biggest football game in your life. You know, I've heard of drugstore cowboys, but I always heard Jerry Lawler was a drugstore football player. Cleveland Brown fan, man. Who cares, Lawler? It's you and me. 2 people striving for the same thing. I ain't got to go out no good side, bad side. It don't matter, because all the marbles is on the table. Lawler, you're in your 30s. Tommy Rich is in his 30s. It's the last hurrah, brother, and you think about it. You think about it long and hard when you hear what I had to say, because just like I said, it's either you or it's me, Lawler, and you can't whip me. You proved to everybody in Memphis tonight you can't.
Well, kind of an interesting comments from Tommy Rich. I got to say this, Dave. To see 2 veterans, guys who can really go like Rich and Lawler in there together, it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
man.
Phenomenal. And the videotape proved it right there.
And talking about taking it and dishing it out.
Both of them.
And we want to talk to him about this upcoming situation with Tommy Rich. It was some kind of a brawl, and I am sorry if you did miss it. Jerry.
I didn't miss it, Lance. I was right there.
You were
Saw
right
every
there.
bit of it. And I also saw the little interview that Tommy Rich made out here a few minutes ago. I heard Tommy Rich saying that I was a washed-up has-been and that I fell flat on my face. Well, it's funny that at the end of that video, at the end of the film of the match, the only one that I saw flat on her face was that bleached blonde Tommy Rich, because that's exactly where I put him. Now, Lance, you asked me a little earlier, how'd this match come about, right?
Yeah.
You realized that I beat Kabuki a couple of weeks ago.
For the right to face
That's
Bockwinkel.
exactly right. Now, why am I having to wrestle Tommy Rich to see who's going to get to wrestle Bockwinkel? That's what you're wondering, isn't it, Lance?
That's exactly
I'm
right.
sure that's what the inquiring minds are wondering right now. Well, let me just tell you. This is my idea, because I'm sick and tired of listening to that punk Tommy Rich run his mouth about how tough he is and about how I'm washed up and how I can't beat any world champions and how he beat Harley Race to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, you know, that's real good for Tommy Rich to come out here and say that. That is true, as a matter of fact. He did beat Harley Race. He did win the World Heavyweight Championship, but there's a little bit more to the story, you know. As Paul Harvey says, that's not the end of the story. The rest of the story goes like this. Big deal, he beat Harley Race, a drunken bum who's 60 years old now, and he was the washed-up has-been at the time. And what happened was Tommy Rich goes out and beats him, and how long did he hold the belt, Lance? How long did Tommy Rich hold the World Heavyweight Championship belt? Well, I'll tell you how long. He held it for 6 days. That's how long Tommy Rich held the belt. It took 6 days for Harley Race to negotiate a return match, and then the 60-year-old drunken bum washed-up has-been, Harley Race, beat Tommy Rich again. Now, let me tell you something, Tommy Rich. You're coming in, you're right, brother. I'm playing on the home field. This is Memphis, Tennessee, and as you can see by this crown and this robe, I am the king around here, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. Now, come on down there, Tommy Rich. And you better shoot your best shot, brother. You better be fired up, because I can guarantee you I'm going to be. And I don't care if we have to wrestle all over the Coliseum. When the dust settles, when it's all clear, when it's all said and done, I'm the one that's going to wrestle Nick Bockwinkel, and you're going to be left laying flat on your back.
That, my friends, is just the beginning. I can tell you that match is going to be a match of the year, and what a way to end 1986. The Lawler-Rich one is going to be worth your attending. Coliseum, Sunday night, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We'll be back in a moment.
Drops again, right on Lawler. At the 9-minute mark. Whoa. Now here we go out of the ring. As I said last time, it took place not only at the ringside, but way back in the back. Blasted, but he didn't go over. Tommy Rich once again with the elbow. Jerry Lawler is not finished yet. Not by a long shot. Sends it into the ring post. Rich comes right back. Two men struggling in not a wrestling match, but all-out war in a street fight. Big elbow by Lawler. Signifies to Memphis and his fans that he's ready to try to put Tommy Rich away. And there comes the key. Rich and Lawler battling to determine who goes after the world title. And they're toe-to-toe. Jerry Calhoun checking Tommy Rich as he's cut open above the right eye, I think. Referee calls for the bell.
Jerry Lawler, having been the heavyweight champion of the world 4 times, I can understand the fervor in which you feel of becoming the heavyweight champion of the world for the first time. Now, I don't know who and what you've got on the championship committee that you deserve another opportunity. This is a battle we've gone through before. But I will say this, and what I don't like is statistics are on your side. Because each and every time that we've gone in the past that I've been able to hang on to this, the thread has been getting thinner. Now I understand you are almost perverse in your desire to become the champion, that you've even stabbed 2 of your friends in the back. Now Austin Idol and Tommy Rich, to me, are championship contenders, but you have somehow gotten past them. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't like it. But I will still step into the ring, and with the fervor you bring wanting the championship for the 4th time, or for the first time, I, having it for the 4th time, will dig, claw, scratch, and do whatever I must to keep it for the 4th time and keep it out of your hands.
I
goes after Lawler. Referee Jerry Calhoun shoved down hard by Tommy. Uh-oh. Lawler throws the ball of fire at Rich. 10 minutes, 54 seconds. Disqualification on Lawler. The Rich is going to be the winner by disqualification. Burned by Lawler. Uh-oh, Austin Idol, who was next in line, but there's supposed to be a rest period. Idol hit the ring and decked Lawler from behind. Decked Lawler right away, and the second match started. Idol has been in control the entire distance. And with those big guns of his, he decks Lawler with a right hand. A little hot dogging by the Hearthrob. Austin brains his head into that top turnbuckle. Idol. He reached a point, snaps the strap down, and here comes the King. Lawler going for a pile driver. Here's Tommy Rich. It's going to be a disqualification on Austin Idol in 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Idol and Rich are teaming up on Lawler now. Goes Calhoun out on the concrete. Rich rolling Lawler over. He and Idol are up to something. Look out! Oh, no. Rich on one leg, Idol on the other, and they slam Lawler, straddle that ring post.
I wanted to get the cameras back here in the dressing room of the Mid-South Coliseum to talk to Idol and Rich about the disgusting thing they did to Jerry Lawler. Hey, we want to talk to you guys about what happened, Tommy Rich and Austin Idol. What happened to Lawler?
Get out of here. We ain't got nothing. You come in this room by invitation only. Get out!
Rich and Idol were a little more talkative than the first time that Randy tried to call on them immediately following the match. Let's listen to what Idol and Rich have to say regarding the circumstances.
You know, Tommy, I don't see what the big hullabaloo here is. I mean, let's face the facts. Let's call a spade a spade. This is professional wrestling. It happens every day in football. It happened to Joe Montana a few weeks ago. It happens in baseball. It happens in basketball. It happens in hockey. It happens in every professional sport. It's happened to me. It's happened to you. And when it comes down to it happens to Jerry Lawler, all of a sudden, it's a great big deal. Everybody's saying, what happened to Jerry Lawler? He got a dirty deal. He got the wrong end of the stick, Tommy. He got the shaft, and we got the gold mine. Well, what Jerry Lawler got is what he had coming to him. He turned his back on this man, just like he did Bill Dundee, just like he did Jimmy Bagan, just like he did all the rest. He turned his back on Austin Idol, and nobody turns his back on me, and I know nobody turns his back on Tommy Rich and Jerry Lawler if you ever wrestle again. And you better pray to God that you don't. Because if you ever get back in the ring with me or this man Jack, you'll be finished for good.
we've been looking forward to for a while, and that is getting the King on the line. We haven't talked to Jerry on the show. Jerry, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Lance.
Okay, fine. Now we got you. Well, partner, I can tell you a lot of folks have been asking us about Jerry and how he's doing, and we thought the best thing to do would be to get you on the phone and take a listen to the words right out of the King's mouth. How about it? Tell us how you are.
Well, Lance, to be perfectly honest, I can barely hear you. I don't know if we have a good connection or not. I don't know if you can hear me, but I can just barely hear you. I did hear you say, how am I doing? I first of all want to let everybody know that as of right now, I'm doing a lot better. I feel, I feel like I'm back and ready to go. But to be perfectly honest with you, the doctors have had they set a timetable of when they thought I should start back, and they said that they wanted me to wait until they think that things have healed completely. And but other than that, I feel good, and I want to thank everybody for the concern and cards and letters and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just looking forward to being back, Lance.
Okay, Jerry, I know that 99% of the folks are aware of exactly what happened in that situation with Austin Idol and Tommy Rich, but if we can, while you and I are talking, we'd like to roll the tape, which it is rolling right now, and this is after Idol and Rich have teamed up together. This was following a match where you went against Tommy Rich, and then we're going in against Idol in a single match. Rich came back in, and they double-teamed you, and of course, there's just no way in the world any one man is going to be able to go up against both those guys at the same time, particularly not with what they did. So that's where we are in the match right now.
Well, looking back, Lance, I realize, now that was biting off more than I could chew. At the time, I had a score I felt like to settle with both of these guys, and I did. It wasn't a situation where I wanted a partner. It was something that I felt like I wanted to, get a chance at each one of them individually, and I realized.
The folks just saw on the monitors where one on each leg, they grabbed you and slammed you into that ring post, and then slapped you around and all, and that's what the oohing, and I don't have to tell you about ooh because you were right there on the receiving end of it.
Yeah, Lance, I'm having a lot of trouble hearing you. I really having difficulty. As I said, though, I realize now that was a mistake trying to handle both of those guys. But what I'm going to do is it's made me. I've had time to sit and think about it, and I realized that there's two guys that I thought were both my friends, not only Tommy Rich, but especially Austin Idol, I thought was a close friend of mine. And I realize now that friendship and, when it comes to money, when it comes to things like titles, you're just going to have to put the friendship aside, which is what they did. So what I'm going to do, I got a personal message. Now, I don't know if either one of those guys are there. I realize, Lance, that I think Tuesday night there's going to be a tournament for my Southern title, right?
True. Right, that's absolutely right, Jerry.
Well, this is another situation where I think that Eddie Marlin, the promoters, the championship committee, due to the injury, probably would have let me slide on that since the last title defense was December the 28th. They probably would have let me slide until I got back. But Austin Idol, I understand, and Tommy Rich both brought this to the attention of Eddie Marlin and to the championship committee, and they said, if he can't defend the title in 30 days, the title has to be vacated, so that's why the tournament's taking place. But I got a message for both Tommy Rich and Austin Idol, and I want to just tell them this, that from now on, there's no more friendship. There's no more thoughts about friendship. They better be looking over their shoulders. They better be watching their backs from this minute. I'm talking about from right now on, because as I said earlier, I feel good. I feel like I'm well. The doctors say I need to wait a little bit longer. But that's just the doctor's opinion. You know the King in the past, Lance.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of listening to what doctors say. So I just want Austin Idol and Tommy Rich to know, you better be watching out. Look over your shoulders in the parking lots, wherever it's going to take place, brother. Because when I get close to you, I'm not going to wrestle. I'm not coming back in any matches, get in any shoulders, 1, 2, 3. I'm not worrying about any disqualifications. I'm coming to do one thing, and that's hurt those guys like they did me. And I'm talking about I'm out for good.
Well, Jerry, I'm glad to hear you say that, and I know from the tone of your voice, Idol and Rich both are talking like it was a career-ending thing that they put you out of wrestling for the rest of your life and all of that. You obviously has clarified that And I'm just looking forward to the time when you can be back here with us. Good luck to you, partner. We'll see you just the first opportunity you can get back.
Thank you, Lance.
Okay.
When the promoters called me and they said, Austin Idol, you've got an opportunity to come to Idleville, Indiana, not Evansville. We all know it's Idleville. With Tommy Wildfire Rich, two of the top guns in professional wrestling right now, to wrestle in a Southern Tag Team Heavyweight title match against Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis. I laughed. I thought it was a joke. I said, this is a rib. You can't be serious. I'm the dude, Jack, who just put out the so-called king, the man who says he is the one who sits on top of the throne. Well, what about your now, Jerry Lawler? You're nothing but a chump because you see, I don't care about no Billy Travis and Jeff Jarrett. Pah, you're a rib, brother. Your old man's a rib. This is a new day, Jackson. This is 1987, and I came in kicking. And Jerry Lawler, you were on the other end of one of my kicks. Now in Evansville, Indiana, Idleville, Indiana, on Wednesday night, oh yeah, I'm coming to town, Jack, and I'm going to come through with a storm. Tommy Rich on one side, the Idol on the other, brother, and we're going to teach you what big-time professional wrestling is all about. And Lawler, I want you to get a message. Let some quack doctor tell you all about it. I'm waiting. Come for me, Lawler. I told you, Jerry Lawler, you couldn't trust Nick Bockwinkel. I'm going to tell you now, too, you can't trust Bam Bam Bigelow. You're a fool, Lawler. Look at the list, and the list is endless. Idol, Rich, Valiant, Dundee, and the list goes on and on. Bockwinkel, and now it's going to be Bigelow. You have no friends. Nobody likes you, Lawler, and I'm at the top of the list. As a matter of fact, I hate your stinking guts. You're not a man, Lawler. You're only half a man now. And I'm going to tell you one thing. When Tommy Rich and the greatest all-around athlete, yours truly, walk down that aisle to face you and Bigelow, the biggest surprise in your life awaits you. Promise.
Evansville Coliseum, brother, what a night of action that's going to be. You've got plenty of it, including a Southern Tag Team, while Jarrett and Travis say that the loser of the fall will leave town against downtown Bruno's Hair. And listen to this. Austin Idol, Tommy Rich, going against Jerry the King Lawler and Bam Bam Bigelow. Quite a partner, Jerry.
That's right. There's been a lot of talk about partners the past few weeks here in Evansville. We tried to jerk Nick Bockwinkel, and we saw his true colors. Well, you want to talk partners, take a look at this right here. And I want you to get a close-up of this. Look, Austin Idol, Tommy Rich, take a look in those eyes. Yeah, the lights are on, but brother, there ain't nobody home. And this is the kind of partner I've been looking for. This is the kind of partner I want, especially in the kind of match we got this week. You got a little taste of him last week, but seems like the referee got in the way. Well, this week, there's no time limit, Lance, and no disqualification. No stopping the match. What does no disqualification mean to you, Bam Bam?
No disqualification! That means people are going to get hurt. Balls are going to break! And you, ref, you get in my way. I'm going to pop your head like a pinball.
Let me say something to Austin Idol and Tommy Rich right now. If you're still watching, I want you to get to a television set, and I want you to get out your recorder, and I want you to play that tape of what you did to me down in Memphis, Tennessee. And I want you to watch it as many times as you can between now and Wednesday. And the reason I want you to watch it is because I want you to know the reason for the beating that you're going to get Wednesday night. It's time to pay the fiddler, boys. You had time to strut your stuff and do a lot of loud talking, but it's all going to come to a screeching halt Wednesday night. Because the King and this man right here are coming to hurt both of you jerks, and we're going to hurt you real bad.
I want to get right to the point. I want to trim the fat, Wildfire, and get to the meat of the matter. Big Bam Bam Bigelow, over 6 foot tall, 6 foot 5, 3'6", 400 pounds, and they say he's crazy, Tommy Wildfire Rich. They say Bam Bam Bigelow, the body of a dinosaur, but a little pea brain, and they say he's crazy. They say he wants to break bones. They say he wants to crush people. They say he wants to hurt people. He says he's going to stroll into that arena, Tommy. He says he's going to walk down the aisle towel, Tommy. He says he can have a 2x4. He says he can have a steel chair. He says he can have anything possible. He says, be on the lookout, Austin Idol and Wildfire Rich. He says anything could happen. Jerry Lawler will be hiding behind another one. He hid behind you, Wildfire. He hid behind me. He hid behind Bockwinkel. He hid behind Dundee. He hid behind Barry. He's hid behind everybody, and he thinks this time it'll be different. It won't be different. We told him about Bockwinkel. We'll tell you about Bigelow Lawler. If you think he'll stand by your side, then you're the one that's crazy, Lawler. It's not Bigelow that's crazy. It's you, Lawler, and I give you my word. I promise you, if you think this is jive, if you think we're shucking and jiving, take a look at this man's eyes. Because I can tell you one thing, Lawler. We took you down to nothing before. We made you half a man. You were in the hospital. You had the surgery. But this time, I can promise you, it'll be for good. We'll teach you what crazy all about.
Idol choking Lawler with that mic cable. Now that's another extension cord, 110 cord, which had our camera in operation. Our camera, one of them, is no longer in operation. Bam Bam on his knees from Rich. I don't know what happened. Oh, Rich got him again. Rich plants a knee in Bam Bam's midsection, slams Lawler down on steps that had been turned over on the side earlier. Bam Bam going after Rich while Idol picks the official bell up, and that huge bell is being used as a backstop for Lawler's head. Bam Bam down on the mat. Rich grabs the bell. Oh no, and he drops it right on the back of Bam Bam Bigelow. Rich says, give me the bell, as Idol nails Lawler. Trying to get a section of fence. Well, we got our bell back. Idol pounding on Lawler. Jerry got a couple of good shots back at him. Slams Lawler's head down on the table, and Bam Bam throws Rich off. Lawler flailing away at Idol, and Bigelow going after Rich. Into the corner. Bam Bam drops with a headbutt on Rich. Lawler pounds a right hand into Idol. No disqualification, no stopping the match. Idol tied up in the ropes. And now they're both going after Tommy Rich. Bam Bam holding Rich. Lawler dropping in with the right hand. Lawler and Bigelow split the legs of Rich. says do it. And Rich is slammed into the ring post.
A gutless wonder. But you're a trapped man. No, you're a trapped half a man. Anybody who saw the film What Happened to You a long time ago knows that you're only half a man now. And you hid behind Buckwinkle, just like you hid behind the Dundies, the Valiants, and everybody else, the Tommy Riches, the Bigelows, and the best partner you ever had in your life. Right here, Jackson, the universal heartthrob, 242 pounds, the women's pet and the men's regret. But you can't hide no more. And this is the match that I asked for. And you lied to everybody. You said it's the one you asked for. You're a filthy, stinking liar, Lawler. Belt on the line, I'd put anything on the line to get you one-on-one. I'm the one that wanted this one-on-one, Jack. I'm the one who didn't want a partner. I'm the one who wanted to see you face-to-face, man-to-man, to find out if there's anything left there. I don't think there is. And then Wednesday night in Evansville, I'm going to take you to the limit, Jack.
With his Southern heavyweight crown on the line, the King against Austin Idol.
Lance, this is a match I've been waiting for a long time. It's just going to be Idol and me. Looking face to face across the ring. You don't have Tommy Rich to hide behind, Idol. It's just going to be you and the King, brother. And you're wearing that strap around your waist. And it's true in the past I've said the most important thing on my mind is not the belt. It's getting Austin Idol and doing to him what he did to me. Because I want to see Idol laid up in a hospital just like I was. I want to see Idol wonder where his next paycheck's coming from. I want to see Idol out of wrestling. And if it means that I don't walk out with that Southern title, then that's what it's going to take. Because I can't worry about getting disqualified. I can't worry about pinning shoulders. I'm coming there for one reason, Idol, and that's to hurt you, boy, just like you hurt me. So Wednesday night in Evansville, the title's on the line. And if I win it, put it back around my waist where it belongs, that's fine. But like I said, the most important thing is, before I leave, Idol, you're going to be hurt and hurt bad.
7 matches, Evansville Coliseum coming up. No increase in price. You got to be out there and see it.
Yeah, there's a pretty good one last week, and we really had ourselves quite a battle when it came down to the Lawler Idol reverse lumberjack. Now that's where the guys stand with the ball bats and they keep people out of the ring. Found out they did both. They kept them in, they kept them out, because a couple of times Idol tried to get away. I want to show you some of the highlights. Let's take a look at it. But they've all gotten interested in the match, watching it. I hope nobody slips in. Idol doesn't need it right now. He's in total control. Jerry blocks the efforts. Slams Idol down. Pops the strap. Idol spinning around, put on the deck. And Lawler got the right hand working overtime. Dangerously up on the ring apron. Lawler puts him back down on the floor. And now Dangerously calling for some help. Rocky and Soul Train watching the entrance. Mark Starr coming over. Going out to meet the troops. Lawler with a pin, but the referee. Uh-oh. Dangerously throws some powder in Brickhouse's eyes. Takes the bat away while Lawler was choking. Jerry overhits Dangerously, throws the bat in. Idol has it. Jabs him right in the throat, slips it out of the ring. This is going to be it. Idol's going to get a win right here. 1, 2. Can he kick? Nope, the 3 count, and it's all over. Austin Idol, with the use of that bat, is the winner. 11 minutes, 34 seconds, the winner, and still the Southern heavyweight champion, Austin Idol. Well, that's a fact. That's the way the official part of it, and you notice that I said in there with the use of the bat. He got the victory, he did, but that is the way that tune goes, and you've seen it on both sides of the fence on many occasions. Austin Idol had some comments to make about Jerry Lawler and the upcoming action with a chain match also.
Lawler! I have absolutely had it with you! every single week that the Mid-South Coliseum has a main event, your name and Idol's name is on top. Now, when I came down here, I promised Austin that I would get him every single top contender that there is. And every week, you make me out to be a liar. Because every week, it's your name on the contract, because we just can't get rid of you. So finally, with a Southern Heavyweight Championship at stake, I said to my man, Austin, I said, Austin, we tried it every week. There's only one way to settle it. Let's strap each other by chains. Let's bind the two humans and let the better man emerge victorious.
Why don't we trim the fat and get to the meat? You know what I asked for, Lawler. Don't make no mistake about it, and I don't want to hear no excuses. I asked Eddie Marlin point blank. I said, drop everything, and let's take it to the bottom right now. Let's end it all right now. I said, give me Lawler, give me a cage match. And what did he say, Marlin? Tell the truth. Tell everybody in the area what Lawler, he said. He absolutely refused. He said, I will not get in a steel cage with Austin Idol. And Eddie Marlin is the one who backed you into the corner, Lawler, because I'm the one, Paulie. You know it. I said, you don't give me some violence, Jack, I don't come back. So you want chain, you want steel. This is the match, Jack, that originated in Russia. And you talk about Russia, you're going to be Russian. You're going to be Russian to get away from me, Jack. You're going to be climbing underneath the ropes. I'm going to pull you back. You're going to jump over the ropes. I'm going to pull you back. I'm going to take you and I'm going to drag you from pillar to post all around that Coliseum, Lawler. Trust me when I tell you this. I don't care what I have to do. In 1987, I'm going to take you out, punk.
Yes. Well, there you hear it. There's the promise from Austin Idol, 1987. I am going to take you out, punk. Well, in the first place, I think he's got the wrong description because he's not dealing with a punk. He's dealing with a king. And he's going to find that out when that chain match comes up. Jerry?
Yeah, you know, Austin Idol comes out and running his mouth about how he wanted me in a cage match. Just like last week, Austin Idol, he loves to shoot that mouth off, and he loves to take little ideas from somebody else and then claim that they were his to try to save face. When the truth of the matter is that I asked Eddie Marlin last week, but not this week, but last week I asked Eddie Marlin, why don't we end this thing the right way? Why don't we just boil it down to Austin Idol and myself, put us in a cage, and we'll settle it once and for all, where nobody gets in and nobody gets out. Eddie Marlin said, I'll take him the contract. He took him the contract and he brought it back, unsigned. But now Idol wants to claim that I'm the one that's running from that match. Well, you got another thing coming, Idol. I'm never going to run from you, punk. Now, you did. You and Paul Dangerously, yeah, you came out on top last week with the help of that baseball bat. But this week, there's going to be some more metal in the ring, and it's going to be a metal chain. But we're going to be chained together. So I got just as much advantage as you've got. I got that chain to use just the same way you got it. And I can promise you this, Idol. It's not a cage match, but you're not going to be able to run. Because as far as you can run is 8 feet away from me, because that's how long that metal chain is going to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reel you in like a big fish, Idol. And when I get you within arm's reach, I'm going to rearrange that face of yours that you think is so pretty till your own mommy ain't going to recognize you. Now I'm going to tell everybody right now, if you don't like the sight of blood, don't come Monday night, because I can assure you that Austin Idol is going to be bleeding from the top of his head to the tip of his toes. And when I get through with him Monday night, he's not going to want a cage match. He's not going to want a chain match. He's not going to want to see the king anymore after Monday, I can assure you.
Okay, I think you know if you've been there before on a chain match, that chain is just not to keep them together. It's the fact that it can be used, and brother, it will be used come Monday night. You got to see it. The King and Idol in a chain match coming up Monday night, Mid-South Coliseum. We'll be back in just one moment. Tag Idol with it. He gonna lay that chain upside his head. Into the chain. It's on his wrist.
He's got 10 seconds to put it on or give Lawler the belt in the hand.
Referee Jerry Calhoun makes the announcement that Idol has got 10 seconds to put that on, or he's giving the match and the belt both to the King. is Jerry Calhoun. He puts his arm out just before it's all over. Hey, it was called as a chain match. Dangerously hollering and screaming. It was called as a chain match. And now Idol is the one who's back. Now he's still giving the referee a hard way to go. Lawler. What is Jerry doing? Jerry has slipped the chain off of his arm while Idol is getting chained up. And now Idol is chained to the rope. And the king is loose. The bell is rung. Whoa, Lawler goes to his trunk. Wraps a big chain around his arm, his hand. Bam! He nails Idol. Covers him. 1, 2, 3. He got him. The new Southern champ, Jerry Lawler.
Austin Idol, that's the way you have a chain match, Memphis style, boy.
The winner in 36 seconds, the new Southern champion, Jerry the King Lawler.
This is Lance Russell back in the dressing rooms at the Mid-South Coliseum, where we are going to go by to visit with Austin Idol about the record time that a Southern heavyweight title has been won. Austin Idol was on the losing end of a battle to Jerry Lawler. The official time, 39 seconds, a new record for the Southern heavy title of change hands. We want to get a reaction to the record.
I'll give you a reaction. A promotion like this belongs in Disneyland. I'll tell you why. Because it's Mickey Mouse. I've been wrestling for 10 years, Jack, and I've wrestled them all. I've wrestled world champions. I've wrestled tag team champions, brass knuck champions, heavyweight champions. You name them, I've wrestled them. I've never been so humiliated in all my life. You're looking at a world-class athlete that doesn't lose a match in less than 30 seconds. You understand me? This is Mickey Mouse, and as far as I'm concerned, you can get the here. Take that jerk with you. Kiss your son of a get out.
Kill it, Randy. Kill it. The Tuesday morning, we were called by Austin Idol. Not only was I called to come over there for what was going to be an announcement pertaining a Texas death match, is what it was. And Eddie Marlin was also called. Let's go to a videotape, and I'll show you exactly what happened when we got there for this special conversation brought about by Austin Idol. Okay, we're here talking to the former Southern heavyweight champion. I don't say that to run it in. It's the day after, and last night you were on the losing side of what turned out to be a record-breaking loss of the Southern heavyweight championship, 39 seconds, to the new champion, Jerry the King Lawler. It's now been announced and has been agreed upon a Texas death match where falls don't count between
Texas death match, huh?
Texas death.
Jerry Lawler really signed his own death warrant when he signed for a Texas death match. You see, Jerry Lawler, you're messing with the #1 professional wrestler in the world today, the man who knows what a Texas death match is all about. I wouldn't have signed for this match if I wasn't sure that Austin could beat you 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring in a Texas death match. You know, Lance, I myself am very upset that I am no longer in possession of the Southern Heavyweight Championship. But Jerry Lawler, you ripped us off! And nobody rips us off. And this time, Jerry Lawler, if you want to live dangerously, you come right on ahead, because we're going to take the belt back in the middle of the ring. Isn't that right, Hearthrob?
Falls don't count, of course, the Texas Tornado Death Match, and it goes to one of you can't answer the bell.
First of all, I want to set the record straight right now, Lance, and I'm going to tell you why I've asked you to be here today. I'm going to also tell you and Eddie Marlin, who is standing over there in the corner, who I'd like to walk out here right now, and I'm going to explain to you, Mr. Marlin, why I've called both of you gentlemen here today.
It's already been agreed, hasn't it?
Well, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Let me have my piece here. There's not going to be a Texas death match. There's not going to be any kind of tornado match, anything like that, and I'm going to explain to you why. Relax for a minute. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about if you'll relax for a minute. If there's going to be any kind of a match at all, it's going to be a cage match. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it's going to be a cage match. Will you wait a minute? Can you just wait 1 minute? I've got the bulls by the horn here, and I've got something that I want to say. Not only is it going to make history, not only in wrestling, but in any other kind of sport. First of all, there's going to be a cage match if Jerry Lawler signs the contract. But there's going to be a cage match of a stipulation that's never been seen in wrestling before. I'm not talking about just here in Memphis, but I'm talking about anywhere in the wrestling world. Because you see, the way I look at it, this is my last match with Jerry Lawler. This is Lawler's last match with me. For so many years, he's claimed to the world that he is in fact the king of wrestling. And I'm not going to sit here today and run him down by saying that Jerry Lawler is nothing, or Jerry Lawler is a has-been, or Jerry Lawler doesn't deserve to be in one of the top 10 in the entire world of wrestling, because he does. Because his record shows proof of it. Because you can look at his record and you can see how many great athletes that he's knocked off over the years. But on the other side of the coin, you take a look at my record too, and it will indicate the same exact stature. Because when you look at Austin Idol and you look at Jerry Lawler and you put them right next to each other, you can't really seem to be able to tell the difference. Although Lawler beat me last week in a very disputed, a very controversial ending that I personally did not like. My man here, Mr. Paulie Dangerously, did not like, but that's water under the bridge. What we're talking about now is something monumental. We're talking about something of a magnitude that the entire wrestling world couldn't imagine. I'm going to tell you what it is. Jerry Lawler, in a particular type of match, has always come out the victor. And I'm talking about a hair match. And if you wait a minute, will you? Let me take it from here. Every opponent Lawler's ever wrestled in a hair match, he's always come out victoriously. And you can look down the list, because I look at the record books too, Russell. I do my homework. And he's knocked them all off. He's never had a hair in his head tarnished. We haven't talked. Now, I'm willing. I know we haven't talked about it. Listen, I'm my own man, okay? I can think for myself. If I couldn't think for myself, I wouldn't be where I am today. Now, I'm challenging Jerry Lawler, not only to a cage match, but I'm willing to risk the hair on my head, every single strand, against every single strand. I want you to listen closely, Marlon, to every single strand of hair on Lawler's head. And I've got a little extra icing for the cake here.
Hair against hair.
Hair versus
That's what
hair.
you would like.
There must, and I want to repeat it, for everybody in this viewing audience, I don't care if you live in Tennessee, I don't care if you live in Arkansas, I don't care if you live in Mississippi, I don't care where you live. This syndicated television program feeds about 20 million people around the United States. And I don't care if you're watching me right now in Los Angeles, California. I want you to listen real good, and don't make a mistake. There must be a winner. Either I get my head shaved or Jerry Lawler gets his head shaved. And I'm so confident. Step in a little closer, Marlon. Step in a little bit closer, because I'm pointing this one right to you, Jack. I'm so confident that I'm going to beat Jerry Lawler in a cage match right here in Memphis, Tennessee, that I'm willing to hand over to you, not a check, cash dollars, in excess of $50,000 cash money I'll give to you. And I'll make you a promise, as well as you, Russell, and as well as everybody in this audience, that if I don't beat Jerry Lawler in a cage match where he has to sit down in a chair and have that head shaved, that I'll refund every single penny. All you'll have to do, you come to the audience, you come to the building, you come to the Coliseum.
Lawler's not going to go for that match.
Wait a minute, Marlon. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I'm telling these wrestling fans here, all they've got to do is show up. They're going to see a night of wrestling that they won't believe. And number one, it's not even number one, it's the most important thing. If I lose, I'll have my head shaved in the middle of that ring, inside a cage, And you take the money I'm going to give to you tonight, and you can give it to every single wrestling fan that walks through those turnstiles. All they've got to do is keep hold of their ticket stubs. And as they leave, if I lose, you give them their money back, Marlon. You take this to Jerry Lawler. I don't think he'll sign the contract, but Lawler, you remember one thing. You remember one thing, Lawler. I'm aiming this right at you, Jack. The ball's in your court. As far as I'm concerned, this is the last tango. And if you don't accept it, you're washed up, Lawler. You're through.
I can't believe you're making this kind of an offer right here. Your hair, Lawler's hair. You're talking about funding it in case you get beat and you get your head shaved and the money goes back to the people on their tickets.
I'll be promoting this match, Jack.
Eddie, I don't know. Hey, I think that's enough, Randy. Let's hold it. We're going to be getting Jerry Lawler's reaction to that particular challenge right after we take time out for this. He just joined us last Tuesday morning. Austin Idol made the challenge, not a Texas Tornado death match with Jerry Lawler, who took the Southern Heavyweight title away in 39 seconds, but a cage match with Idol's hair against the King's hair. And Idol further said, if I don't beat Jerry Lawler and shave his head, I will return your money for the matches. Talking to everybody who came down to see the matches. And he did, in fact, give the money to Eddie Marlin. Now, Jerry, a couple of situations. Boy, that is super confidence. There's no question about that. And you have said no more hair matches for the King.
Well, I set it up until I heard those stipulations. It's true. Everything you've seen up till now, Austin Idol making his claims of confidence. At first, you know, when Eddie Marlin called me and said and told me what Idol had proposed, I thought, you know, there's no way. Nobody's gonna risk $50,000. I mean, everybody, $50,000 to me or any. I mean, that's an awful lot of money.
Yep.
But I'll give you a little history on Austin Idol. In 1975, Austin Idol was wrestling in Florida. He was wrestling in Miami. They flew out of Tampa, Florida on a chartered plane. It was Austin Idol, Buddy Colt, Bobby Shane, and Gary Hart. And upon returning, they wrestled in Miami, and upon returning, believe it or not, they were involved in a plane crash. The plane crashed in the ocean. Bobby Shane was killed. Gary Hart suffered a broken back. Buddy Colt, a broken neck and a broken back. And Austin Idol had both legs broken and severely injured both of his feet. And they didn't think for a long time that he would ever be able to wrestle again. Anyway, Austin Idol, as a result of this, got a lot of money. I was, as I said, a charter plane from the insurance.
Litigation following that tragic air crash.
I understand that he came out with almost $500,000, and so when and not to mention the fact that a couple of years later he was able to return to the ring, and is without a doubt Austin Idol has been one of the most successful wrestlers around. So Austin Idol has the money. The $50,000 probably is not as much to Austin Idol as it is to you or I or to anybody else. And Austin Idol's ego is so enormous that I think that he is willing to risk this $50,000. But I'm sure in Austin Idol's mind, he doesn't think he's risking the $50,000. He thinks that he's going to be able to beat me right in the middle of the ring and shave my head, which is something that you know and all of the fans out there know, that I've said that I'll never be involved in another hair match. The pressure on you is tremendous. You know, nobody wants to go around with. First of all, you don't want to suffer the humiliation and that kind of the embarrassment of having your head shaved. But what's more important is the fact that each and every morning when you get up and look in that mirror and see yourself in the mirror, you got to remember and you got to realize that because of the fact that you were second best is the reason you got your head shaved. And you know, I said before, I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on myself anymore. I've been through a number of hair matches. Bill Dundee,
Bev Dundee, his wife,
the Fargos, Jean-Louis, Joe LeDuc, a lot of hair matches. Always fortunate enough to come out on top because I fully well realized that the last thing on earth that I ever wanted to do was go through that humiliation, and not only of that night, but as I said, for weeks and months to come, when you look in that mirror and realize that you were beaten by somebody, and that's why you're standing there with a shaved head. But when I was made this offer, it was too good to turn down. Because with Austin Idol, as with, I guess it's just human nature. When you see somebody who thinks they're so great, who just has their ego so big and has such great plans, as devious as they are, you always like to see, at least I do, you like to see these kind of things kind of blow up in their face. The same kind of the thinking as with Andy Kaufman. A few years back when Andy Kaufman came down here, he had all of these great plans to make a big joke out of professional wrestling, to make a big joke out of me, and come down here and the wrestling fans at our expense and get a lot of publicity for himself and make himself a bigger star. But what I was able to do, and what I was more than glad to do, and I think all the wrestling fans were happy about, was let all of this stuff just kind of blow up in his face. He got a lot of publicity, but it wasn't the kind that he thought he was going to get. He wound up spending 5 days in a hospital. And for Austin Idol, I want to do the same thing. I want this to all blow up in his face. I want him to have to eat his words. I want him to have to go down there Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. Ever how many thousands of wrestling fans buy a ticket to come in there and see those matches? See him put up that cage, see me and Austin Idol get in there. And I want to see me beat Austin Idol, and him sit down and have his head shaved, and then every person that goes out, if they've just hung onto their ticket stub, they're going to get their money back. That's what I want to see happen. And then I want Austin Idol to realize how much that $50,000 meant. And that's what's going to happen, because I'll tell you this, Lance Russell, and I'll tell every wrestling fan out there, Austin Idol can't beat me, and he ain't going to beat me.
Jerry, you said a moment ago that you had been fortunate to come out the victor. I think that's modest in the respect that the way I look at it, Jerry Lawler, when you get in a match with that kind of pressure on you, you just respond to the pressure, because I've seen you come back in some of those hair matches when I thought you were all through. Of course, Idol's tremendous ego, the women's pet, the men's regret. You know what he feels about his looks and how vain he is in that respect. You know he's going to be responding to some pressure too.
I can honestly sit here and tell you that I know for a fact if Austin Idol has his head shaved, he wouldn't show his face anywhere in public, on television, at an arena, at a match, anywhere for 6 months, I can assure you, at least as long as it takes for his hair to get back as long as it is now. You're right. He's the most vain individual that I've ever seen in my life. Not only are you thinking about what your own personal looks are, but what also will go through Austin Idol's mind is the same thing that goes through my mind. When he wakes up Tuesday morning and he looks in that mirror, he's going to have to know, he's going to have to eat his words, that the King was the better man, and that Austin Idol is going to have to realize that every morning that he looks in that mirror and sees that his head's shaved.
And he's going to be $50,000 poorer, too. Let's see what Austin Idol had to say when he found out that the King accepted that challenge.
Against my better judgment, and without even consulting me, my man Austin Idol earlier this week issued a challenge to Jerry Lawler for a hair versus hair match within the confines of a steel cage. Now, this is a match that even I want nothing to do with. But Austin has insisted on it, so he knows that I'm behind him 100%. But Austin, as you well know, I don't even want to be responsible if something goes wrong, because this is the kind of match that even I am afraid of. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the universal heartthrob, Austin Idol. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. Well, Lawler, let's face it. You couldn't take the heat, could you? You couldn't stand the heat, could you, Lawler? You couldn't live with the thought that anybody who's ever seen Jerry Lawler, anybody who's ever heard of Jerry Lawler, or anybody who even knows somebody who knows of Jerry Lawler, you couldn't stand the thought of everybody in the wrestling world
And in the civilization world, I'm talking about the people who work at the banks where Jerry Lawler goes. I'm talking about the people at the grocery stores where Jerry Lawler goes. I'm talking about the people anywhere Jerry Lawler goes when he walks into a movie theater, of them thinking that Jerry Lawler is a coward. Well, Lawler, you let that massive ego of yours that's plagued you for so many years lead you into the valley of doom, where your ego once was, stupidity took over. Oh yeah, Lawler, you're not looking at a dummy here. I know how many hair matches you've been in, and I can drop a few names on you just to let you know that I've done my homework. Fargo shaved his head. Tommy Rich, you shaved his head. Bill Dundee, you shaved his head. As a matter of fact, Bev Dundee, you shaved her head. You have never lost a match when your hair was at stake. But I can promise you, Lawler, and I can promise every man, every woman, every child, every dog, every cat, every goldfish, every parakeet. I don't care if you're a man, you're a woman. I can promise you one thing, that on Monday night, in a 12-feet-high steel cage where no one gets in and no one gets out, that I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to sit you down in the middle of that arena, right there, and I'm going to shave your head, Lawler. And I'm so confident that I'm going to do it. I've already put up over $50,000 in cash money to be refunded to every wrestling fan that comes through that turnstile. I can promise you one thing, Lawler. This will be a night that you'll never, ever forget. I'm going to shave your head.
What an event. It's signed, hair versus hair, no stopping the match for anything. And if you beat him, everybody gets their money back.
That's it, Lance. I don't want, this is, seems like it's becoming a talk show. We're going to get some wrestling out here in just a minute. I just want to say to Austin Idol, one other thing that you failed to mention, he is so confident, or at least he sounds so confident, that one of the stipulations in his contract was
That's true.
that they not be able to film the head shaving. Yeah. So it won't be on TV. And I think the reason that you can't film the head shaving is for the simple fact that Austin Idol is scared, Lance. He's afraid that it's going to be his head that gets shaved, and he don't want anybody to see that. But I can assure you this, everybody that's down there Monday night is going to get to see that. And Austin Idol, like I said, I love to make the best laid plans of mice and men blow up right in their face. And that's what's going to happen to you down at the Coliseum Monday night.
Okay, good luck to you, Jerry. We'll be seeing that Monday night. That's not the only match on the card. Right now, let's take a look at what else is happening at the Coliseum.
Out of admission. And here we go. Lance Russell, history-making battle in a cage.
No question about it. A first of all, I don't know of any professional sports where they have ever had anybody guarantee an admission refund on a certain outcome of the match, and that's what it is on this match here. History in the making, another first for great championship wrestling out of the Mid-South area. Eddie Marlin has booked it, hair versus hair. Austin Idol has put up over $50,000 to guarantee that if he does not defeat Lawler and shave his head, his hair will go, and he will refund the money of every person in the Mid-South Coliseum. And let me tell you, we are talking over $50,000. Inside the cage, I think that that is a figment of his imagination. The referee has ruled Danger Lee will not be in there. Only 3 people inside the cage. Austin Idol, Jerry Lawler, and referee Jerry Calhoun. Idol trying to kick the chain loose over there. Danger Lee going at it. And the oh, look at this. Lawler right behind Idol, grabs him, slams him into the door. You want it, you got it. And Idol running from Lawler, trying to get out the door, making no headway. Austin Idol back to the center of the ring as Jerry Lawler pursues him relentlessly. Randy, normally we talk about Jerry being a slow starter. Boy, he obviously is pumped up for this one because he is off and running.
Off and running's right. We both talked to him before the match, and he is geared up and ready to go. And he has Austin Idol right from the beginning going. The King is fired up. Hair versus hair, and Idol and Lawler to do battle in this brand new cage, Lance.
And I will tell you, a 12-foot high cage. And here they come right at us as Lawler slams Idol's head into this substantial cage directly in front of us. Lawler going for the pile driver, and Idol gets away from it. The King, who defeated Idol in their last outing for the Southern Heavyweight title. That was a chain match in which Lawler showed him what a chain match his style was. Paul Danger Lee screaming, "Give me the key, give me the key." No way. And Idol being blitzed by Lawler. Jerry looks like he's busted the left eye open. Yeah, Idol bleeding now. Blood in his left eye and down his nose. Idol missing a wild right hand. Again, as Lawler steps back, jabs him continuously. The King covers 1, 2, and Idol is out. First major threat in the match. Lawler covering Idol. And Idol in this anything goes match, kicking away at Jerry Lawler. Jerry slipped a little back kick in there of his own. Pounds Austin. Just past the 5-minute mark in this match. Austin Idol head popped off the top turnbuckle on the far side of the ring from us. And Lawler pounding away. No wrestling. Just pounding, pounding. So much at stake. 2 of the major figures in professional wrestling. Austin Idol. The King, Jerry Lawler. Idol looked like he may have been going for a chain, Randy, but Lawler tied him up.
It looked like it to me, and I think he has it, Lance. And yeah, he nails Lawler. The King down.
It wasn't a chain. It looked like it was like a roll of dimes or something. And Lawler down on his back for really the first time Idol slamming Lawler's head into the fence. Woo. And Idol pounding away. With a chair. Idol jabs Lawler in the midsection while dangerously trying to take the door off. And Jerry again slammed into that ring post. With the blood running down his face, the Hearthrob is really going after Lawler. He stopped him with that loaded right hand. Idol down on Lawler. Stood him on his head, and Jerry rolled over. Idol saying, I'm going to shave it. Rolls Lawler back over. He's going for the cover. 1, 2. Whoa. Boy, that's how close the King was to losing his first hair match. Dangerly is over there beating with a pipe or something on the door chain. As Idol again loaded his hand up and belted Lawler. This is, however, an anything-goes match. Count of 1, 2, and Jerry is out of it again. Crowd hollering for Lawler. And Jerry battling his way back with a vicious uppercut. Misses off that second rope. And Idol takes his share of missing as he came down, and that right knee is hurt. Austin hopping around. Looks like he may be going in his tights to load that hand up. He does. And Lawler down again. And if the referee didn't catch it before the match, it's an anything-goes match. Idol drops with an elbow down on the King. Count of 1, count of 2, count of 3, but no. Lawler's shoulder was up at the 10-minute mark. 10 minutes passed in this cage match as Jerry Lawler that close to losing it. Idol has had a couple of very close spots. Watch this one. Idol again on the ropes. But Austin is staggering a little with that right knee. He is favoring it, and he misses. Lawler out of the way as he drops with the elbow. Now the King. Gonna spear him. He nailed him right in the head. Idol stumbling, falling around. Lawler is hurt himself. Came right off the rope, speared Idol. Great pride. 1, 2, but Lawler's legs on the ropes. Idol couldn't stop him. Randy, looks to be like that knee that Austin hit might have hurt him more than we originally thought. He is, and Lawler all the way over the top rope, down onto the concrete. Idol is staggering at times up there, Randy.
Agree with you, Lance. When he came down on that knee, Lawler and Idol battling in the cage here at the Mid-South Coliseum. Idol, watch out, Lance. Right into the cage, right in front of us, Lance.
Directly in front of us, Austin Idol pounding Jerry Lawler. Slamming his head. Mashes his face right into the pipes on 2 sections of the cage. Slamming him into it. And Lawler again slammed up against the cage wall directly in front of us. Now Idol throws him back inside. He'd like to try to keep him in the middle of the ring where he cannot put a foot up on the rope. Lawler being pounded with that foot in the lower back, now in the back of the neck. The King hearing the screams of the many people who have come out to support the King of Wrestling. Lawler catches him with a left and a right. Look at the King go with that strap down. He's after Idol. Referee Jerry Calhoun. We're approaching the 15-minute mark as Calhoun is down on the floor, and his significance is that Idol could not get a 3 count. It's going to be a pile driver. And Calhoun dumped into the mat by Austin Idol. That'll put the referee out of it. I don't know how we're going to have a count, Randy.
The referee's out of it, Lance. A pile driver by Austin Idol on Jerry Calhoun, and Idol going back to Lawler.
Lawler grabs him as Idol was going to take him up. Lawler's got him down, but the referee is out of it. So there's no count, and Idol is able to break it. Knee in the middle of the back by Idol. Off on the floor goes the King. Powder from Ball Dangerly outside the cage, right in the eyes of Lawler. But remember, the referee being out of it won't help Idol get a pin 1, 2, 3 either. Calhoun grabbing his neck. There's a cover by Idol, but who's to count? Nobody. Lawler reverses it. Idol down. Dangerly climbing up the side of the cage. Idol kicks his way out. Jerry pounding the midsection, going for the pile driver. And Idol taking a pile driver from the King. Lawler with the cover, but where's the referee? He's hurt. emergency because Tommy Rich appears from nowhere. Idol pulls the referee over. Lawler is down. Count of 1, count of 2, count of 3, and the King has lost the hair match to Austin Idol. 18 minutes, 17 seconds. The winner is Austin Idol and Tommy Rich. I can't believe it. I think the people are as stunned as we are, Randy. Where in the world did Rich come from?
I want to see this tape again.
Yes, I was watching, looking at the referee to see what Lawler was going to do, if he would be able to reach him. And look at Idol. Idol apparently got the key from the referee. I didn't even see that. I'm looking at Jerry up there.
Unless he's got to get away, because it's going to get nasty.
Unbelievable. I'm still absolutely, I just am at almost a loss for words. Rich is in there hollering, cut his hair, cut his hair. Oh, so Idol takes this time to drop another knee down on him. Referee Jerry Calhoun, who suffered that pile driver at the hands of Austin Idol. And now Lawler, after being posted, Rich, another cheap shot. Idol holding the cane around the neck of Jerry Lawler. Legendary King of Wrestling, Jerry Lawler. Lawler hurt. Oh, Jerry is in tough shape. And Cortese, the barber, being supervised by Austin Idol, while Paul Dangerly is collecting the hair in a bag. What a brutal match. And Rich, I have got to see the tape. I must see at the point where he entered the cage. I just absolutely am dumbfounded. King, who's been such a prominent part of not only all of professional wrestling, but of his hometown, Memphis, Tennessee, is having his hair shaved off in the center of the ring. To me, as I sit here and look at it, Lawler is hurt from that post shot that Idol and Rich put on him. Of being forced to cut the hair of an idol, and I don't mean Austin. Something that we never thought would be done. Lawler, having never lost a hair match, is having his head shaved in the middle of the ring with Rich and Idol, the culprits. Can't put it any way but the fact that this didn't just happen. This took some heavyweight planning for them to pull this on the King. As Rich continues to kick the referee outside the ring. Calhoun will be so sore tomorrow. Lawler has slumped down to the floor as the barber is continuing at the instructions of Idol to get it off. Congratulating each other, and Paul Dangerly, and Jerry's head is completely cut. The hair has all been cut down to a little stubble on his head. He needs help getting out of that ring. That's what he needs. How long are they going to go on with his hair cutting? He needs to get out of there. reporting calls for us to come to the dressing room of Austin Idol and Tommy Rich. Yeah, well, officially in a history-making match tonight, Jerry the King Lawler lost his hair to Austin Idol. It should read to Austin Idol and Tommy Rich. Yeah, how do I like it? You ask it. I want to tell you what I think. I've seen a lot of wrestling. I've seen a lot of things done. That's the lowest thing I've ever seen done in my life. This guy, you've been planning this. You took care of everything. How did you end up getting in the ring? Yeah. What were you doing inside that cage?
You know, Let's Russell, excuse us. Yeah, you come in to talk, but we don't need you in here. You know, I told you, Jerry Lawler, it was going to get intense. Real intense. I'm hungry, boy. Paulie, businessman. Look at that hair. But what we're talking about, Jerry Lawler, everything was your way. Austin Idol returned all the money to the building, put his hair on the line. But the one thing you overlooked, you put a big 16, 20-foot cage, but you forgot to look under the ring. Or you forgot to look when Pat Tanaka got out of the cage. They don't know where I came from. Intense, Lawler. Now you're ashamed to show your face. He don't even show his face around me. What is that?
Don't they realize something, TR? Don't they realize, Paulie, that I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada, Jack? I grew up not on a baby bottle. I grew up spinning the roulette wheel. I grew up playing 5-card stud. I grew up pulling slot handles. I'm a gambler from the day I was born, and I'll gamble to the day I die. And Lawler, when I put my $50,000 in the bank, I put it right in the bank. There was no shucking, no jiving anymore than that. 50 grand of my money, brother. You said it came from a plane crash. It came from blood, from sweat, from tears. But you remember one thing. In Las Vegas, they always got a hole card. Hello, hole card. The hole, baby. You're my ace, Parnell. You're my ace. My ace. I love it. I love it. I love it. The greatest of all time. The new kings, rich, sexy, and mean, darling.
King of the feuds, Jerry Lawler, the people of Memphis, and you too, Les Russell.
Spend all night. Okay. Yeah. Let me tell you, you had to ace up your sleeve. You didn't do it fair. That's all. Okay, let's finish it. That's enough.